Imagine a boy in the late 1970s, small and bright-eyed, standing somewhere between a spotlight and a shadow. That boy was Christian Charles Philip Bale, born January 30th, 1974, in Haverford, West Wales. But if you're picturing a quiet childhood tucked in books and bedtime stories, you're way off. Christian was raised in a whirlwind of color, movement, and performance. His mother, Jenny, a circus ballerina, taught him how to spin emotion with his body. His father, David, a former pilot and environmentalist, taught him to question everything. His earliest memories weren't of cartoons or playgrounds, but of backstage makeup mirrors, heavy curtains, and the thrill of transformation. By the time he was 6, Christian wasn't just playing pretend, he was studying it. Every character he mimicked, every scene he imagined, was a rehearsal for something bigger. Acting wasn't a career dream, it was the only language he truly understood. And when the cameras finally came calling, they didn't just find a cute kid. They found a boy with a storm behind his eyes. You'd think that after Empire of the Sun, things would be easy. He'd made it right. But that's not how it works in Hollywood, especially not for a boy who doesn't want to be famous, just good. Christian Bale didn't ride the wave of child stardom. He paddled against it. Post-Empire. While the world saw him as a wunderkind, Christian experienced something far lonelier, the pressure to keep performing at genius level over and over. He was thrown into the media spotlight, praised as Spielberg's next discovery, and suddenly, every producer wanted the boy from that war movie. But Christian didn't want to be that boy forever. So instead of cashing in on big studio roles, he drifted quietly, carefully through smaller projects: Henry V, Treasure Island, and the musical Newsies. Some flopped, some went unnoticed. But to Christian, they were training grounds. Every script was a new skin to wear, every set a workshop. He was learning not just how to act, but how to sustain, how to disappear and resurface over and over without losing his core. That's the thing about Bale, he doesn't approach acting like performance. He treats it like possession. He dives into the psyche, lets it rot or rise inside him, and only then does he let the camera in. By the late 90s, Bale's face was well known in Hollywood's inner circles, but he wasn't a household name. He was too quiet, too private, too weird for tabloids. And that's just how he liked it. Then came Velvet Goldmine, 1998, a glam rock fever dream of a film where Bale played a journalist digging through the glitter and grime of 1970s music culture. It was dark, stylish, and emotionally raw, and he held his own against Ewan McGregor and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Suddenly, people started paying attention again. Not to the kid from Empire, but to the man he was becoming. And then came American Psycho. But that's a story best told in the next chapter. By the turn of the millennium, Christian Bale had already proven he was no ordinary actor, but it was American Psycho 2000 that forever shattered expectations. Imagine hearing that a once sweet British teen from Spielberg's war epic would hurl axes at business suits and deliver killing monologues. It felt wrong. Brilliantly wrong. Bale threw himself into the character of Patrick Bateman, update on screen through psychotic sequences, eerie calm, and savage outbursts. He adopted an American accent, transformed his physique, and mastered Bateman's disorienting blend of charm and calculated cruelty. Women were mesmerized, men were horrified. Few performances made audiences simultaneously empathize and recoil as intensely as Bale did. Critics initially recoiled from the film's violence, but couldn't deny Bale's fearless commitment. His nuanced portrayal, rich with dark humor and chilling precision, marked him as an actor unafraid to explore the darkest corners of the psyche. He wasn't just playing a role, he was living a horror in human form. That film didn't simply push his career forward, it vaulted him into a category of his own. Hollywood didn't know whether to love or fear him, but one thing was certain: they couldn't ignore him. Fortified by this voice, Bale embraced roles that demanded his full self, even at risky cost to his image. In The Machinist 2004, he dropped an astonishing 60 pounds to play Trevor Resnick, an insomniac haunted by guilt and paranoia. He drank black coffee by the liter, subsisted on an apple and coffee a day, and his gaunt physique became the screen's definition of haunted. Audiences gasped. Who is this madman, they wondered, yet they couldn't look away. Then came Batman Begins, 2005. Here was the collision of Bale's dedication and box office spectacle. He needed to bulk back up fast, building muscle again to embody the iconic Dark Knight. The metamorphosis was complete flight of the tortured soul, hidden beneath suit and cape, balancing darkness with nobility. Christian was not just cast, he was reborn as Bruce Wayne. What followed? The prestige rescue. Dawn. The fighter roles that spanned war zones, psychological duels, real human tragedies. For The Fighter, 2010, Bale lost 40 pounds, gained muscle, and in a signature move, memorably shaven half his hair to play Dickie Eklund, the gifted but self-sabotaged trainer. His performance won him the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. By 2010, Bale had turned himself into a true chameleon, willing to sacrifice, morph, and challenge. And fans, critics, and peers couldn't help but watch in awe. Christian Bale's journey took him from playing twisted killers to donning the cape of the Dark Knight, perhaps the most iconic silhouette in modern cinema. By the time he stepped into Gotham's shadows, Bale had earned a reputation he would give it everything. In 2005, Batman Begins arrived, and with it, Christian brought a brooding, complex Bruce Wayne to life. Gone was the campiness of the past. This Bruce was haunted, driven, and deeply human. Bale's path from grief to justice defined a new era of superhero storytelling. He continued this journey with The Dark Knight 2008, delivering a powerful confrontation with Heath Ledger's Joker and earning critical acclaim. Then, in 2012's The Dark Knight Rises, he closed the trilogy not just as a hero rising from darkness, but as a man transformed. Audiences cheered not only Batman's triumph, but Christian's commitment, a performance that held up a mirror to courage, sacrifice, and reinvention. These films didn't just define Bale's career, they reshaped how audiences view superheroes. But Bale's ambition reached further than cape and cowl. In 2010, he delivered perhaps his most human performance in The Fighter, portraying Dickie Eklund, a real boxer struggling with addiction and delusion. His transformative portrayal earned Christian his first Academy Award, recognizing him not for his physical ocean of change, but for emotional depth and truth. Next up was The Big Short, 2015, a darkly comedic take on the 2008 financial crisis. Bale became Michael Burry, a socially awkward, lip-chewing maverick who bet against the system and won. Once again, Bale's uncanny ability to lose himself in character made him unforgettable. Then, in Vice 2018, he aged 30 years on film to play Dick Cheney. Once more, Christian disappeared into character, voice, posture, even eyes. The performance earned him another Oscar nomination and reminded the world he isn't just a chameleon, he is the illusion. And now, here we are waiting for his next move. The Bride. This upcoming film finds Bale in an unexpected role, no cape, no mask. Early reports describe a character studded with layers, a man whose joy, grief, desires, and regret all converge in a single enigmatic bride. While details remain under wraps and the trailer is still in tight focus, industry whispers say this is a Cannes-worthy psychological drama, a story of devotion and obsession, love twisted by fate. From the epic Batman trilogy to this haunting new role, Christian Bale continues to defy typecasting. He doesn't choose roles, he chooses transformations. And The Bride promises yet another descent into uncharted emotional terrain. So far, his career has been defined by one thing: fearlessness. Whether playing killers, super soldiers, corporate titans, or cowboy gamblers, he's never taken the easy path. The Bride isn't just another film. It's another chapter, another puzzle waiting to be solved, and another chance for Christian Bale to prove transformation is his true craft. Christian Bale's career is a testament to one simple truth: he never stops changing. 30 years in, and he's never settled. Instead, he's built an artistic legacy based on transformation, fearlessness, and commitment. From a curious circus boy to a sensitive child, actor from the unhinged horror of American Psycho to the tortured soul in The Machinist, Christian went further still, becoming Batman, a champion of justice consumed by darkness and rebirth. He followed that with The Fighter, a raw masculinity stripped to its core. The Big Short turned him into a reluctant voice of reason during economic meltdown. Vice made him Chanel Poisony in a suit, a commanding performance buried beneath layers of disguise. And now The Bride appears on the horizon, another challenge, another prism in which to see Christian anew. What ties these roles together? Integrity. Bale isn't interested in fame for fame's sake. He's choosing characters who demand something of him physically, mentally, morally. Each role forces him to reinvent himself, sometimes drastic, always deliberate. That's the legacy his body of work leaves behind, examples of radical dedication, proof that an actor can vanish into performance without losing himself. Bale didn't just raise bars, he shattered expectations. And for younger actors, he's a living testament that vulnerability and brilliance can coexist. And then comes The Bride. To say it's his next role feels too casual. This is more like a new act in a career already rich with reinvention. As a psychological drama, it demands nuance, what we've seen him deliver before, but now perhaps more subtly, more intimately. The whispers say it's Cannes-worthy, layered with obsession and emotional weight. Imagine a Bale who isn't Batman, isn't a con man, isn't a depressed machinist, but someone whose identity is the mystery. His joy, grief, longing, and regret all contained in one figure standing at center stage. It could redefine not just him, but what a leading man in modern cinema can be. After The Bride. What's next? Christian has said he'll never stop acting, but rumors suggest he might take up directing, perhaps exploring stories he's lived. Or he may continue surprising us with roles we never thought possible. What remains is this: Hollywood is filled with talented actors, but few shape raw material into art like Bale does. Each transformation is both physical and spiritual, a reminder that the best roles reflect the actor becoming himself. And Christian, he's a man still becoming. So when The Bride finally arrives on screens, watch closely, because it's not just another Christian Bale movie. It's a new chapter in an ongoing story of reinvention of art, forged in vulnerability and courage. And that may be his greatest masterpiece.